Would you like to learn why I believe this cat meme coin has the narrative to propel it many hundreds, if not thousands of X's between now and the end of the bull market? My name's the Suppoman, your superhero of 100 to 1000 X gems. I am the king of finding really good narratives at a low market cap, which go on to make 100 to 1000 X's. Not every coin does, but you can understand why I have achieved so many 100 plus X's in all my 8 years in cryptocurrency. And this particular cat meme coin, I think, has a supreme narrative to take it to the top. Now, if you love content like this, make sure you smash a like on this video and subscribe if you haven't already, because there aren't many people that are watching Suppoman live, and this is where you get the pure alpha before it goes on my main channel. Now, let us have a look at where the market is right now. So right now, we are in a very turbulent market where we are seeing Bitcoin on or around $110,000 per Bitcoin, right? And this weakness in Bitcoin is leading people into selling cryptocurrencies right now, selling their altcoins. But on a fundamental basis, the plunging of Bitcoin's price is leading to altcoins having strength. And I believe this is setting up the market for an altcoin season. Whether this actually begins the up-only phase is a matter of time to decide. But what I can tell you is that Bitcoin dominance is plummeting. And this is a good thing for altcoin season. It has fallen very recently from 65% to 58%. It has lost 10% of value and therefore is beginning a descendancy, which is indicating a potential altcoin season. Now, I believe that this is the absolute ample time to be getting into cryptocurrencies of low market caps with insane narratives. And the narrative I have got for you is with this cryptocurrency here, Kitecoin. Now, you've heard Alex Becker say Sue instead of saying Sui. And for Kitty, this is how I say it, Kitty! So Kitecoin was the first ever cat meme coin that came out in December 2013, very, very quickly after DOGECOIN. So the narrative of this is one of the most simplistic to understand narratives. Okay, so this is a cat coin. Unlike Popcat, Mog, or Mew, or Toshi, this is a cat coin with lore, with history that takes it back to 2013. This was one of the top 50 cryptocurrencies, the first ever cat meme coin. And that's all you need to know. Look at LolCoin in the last week going to 8 million market cap outside of an altcoin season, because it's the first ever meme coin that actually predates Doge. But this one, it does post-date Doge, but it's the first ever cat meme coin. Born the same month as Doge, it was built to challenge the dogs. Okay, so what that means is there are two large segments of pet ownership, and that is dog ownership and cat ownership. Actually, they are very, very similar in terms of the amount of people that hold cats, okay, as there are dogs. All right, so there are 480 million cat owners in the world in a pet population of 1 billion. That means that this is 48% of the global pet population. So people that have pets, near half of them are cats. That means the other half are dogs. So only just do dogs pinch it, right? But when it comes to mascots, there are frog mascots, there are penguin mascots, but the real ones are cats and dogs, okay? And this is one of the big reasons why Doge is one of my big plays for dogs. But as far as cats are concerned, this is it, right? So this was a coin that was brought out to basically cause equilibrium amongst pet owners. So you had your joke dog coin, aptly named Doge. So it wasn't called dog, it was called Doge because it was a play on dog. And Kitty or Meow token, as it's actually called, Kitte was a play on kitten or cat, right? So they are basically got exactly the same qualities as a dog and cat meme coin that were rivaling, all right? And that is basically the history of it. And this actually came out and was faster as a blockchain than Doge, okay? So it was faster than Doge when it was initially launched back in 2013 on Christmas Eve. Now, wouldn't it make sense that the likely end of the bull market in 2025 could be around Christmas time or early January? So it would make sense that basically on its birthday, this could be where it deserved to be all along. And it had, real early crypto altcoin maximalists. Kobe, who today is probably one of the biggest Twitter profiles. Jeebus and Max Kaiser, right? They were all Kitecoin. Look, if y'all didn't buy Kitecoin, you dumb as fuck. Back in January 26th, 2014. This is timestamped, it's history. Right, so what we have got is we have got a cat meme coin with a perfect ticker, Meow. Okay, can you get more perfect than that? Meow is the distinct high-pitched sound a cat makes and is primarily a form of communication with humans. So this is how they talk. So not only is it a play on kitten or cat, but also they have the ticker Meow, which, let's face it, is way better than Mog, Popcat, Toshi, and Mew easily, right? Because Meow is the most common way that cats communicate, and it's the most associated kind of onomatopoeic word related to cats. So this one really does stand out as one of the best cat narratives, and you don't need to be a degen to understand it. You don't have to be of the Mog community, the Mew community. Like, those are degen communities. Like, the narrative is not easy to sell. But let me show you something, right? Cat mascots, despite the fact that they are not actual easy sells, they're not easy narratives, they have still amassed insane market caps. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just make sure that I haven't even checked yet. So let me just make sure that you can hear me and all is kosher. Before I get on to the nub, yes, there we are. So you can hear me, all is fine. So let me just share this over to the good people of X. They're largely good because I've blocked most of the idiots now. So there we are, done and done. So, cat mascots, despite actually never really ever having a cycle, have still amassed these kinds of market caps, 2 billion, 1 billion to 2 billion. And these are all bad narratives. So let's just go through why Kitte makes the most sense. And let's just be absolutely brutally frank. This coin, at this present time, is 2 million market cap. 2 million market cap. Like, when do you ever get presented an opportunity this insane at such an early stage, right? And it's a mascot. Like, if we have a look at the top meme coins in the market right now, mascots are 16 out of the 19 top 16 out of the top 19 meme coins. Okay, so if you count down, there are only a few that are non-mascot. SPX, Fartcoin, Memecore. That's it. And all of the rest of them, the top 20, all of them are useless. But all the rest of them are all mascots, right? So that's just telling you that mascots, from an aesthetic point of view, when new retail come into the market, when we do have an altcoin season kicking off, then they are going to be attracted to a visual, okay, which is what this is, which is what Kitte is. And these are all visuals. And look at the top all-time highs of the mascot coins. Doge, 91 billion, Shiba, 42, Pepe, 10, Pudgy penguins, and penguins, no one owns a penguin, and yet this has gone to 5 billion. No one owns a Viking-based dog that's called Flocky, still went to 4 billion, and the best cat coin performance is 2 billion from Popcat. Now, do cats go pop? If you own a cat right now, tell me, does it go pop when it tries to talk to you? No. So Popcat makes no sense. Meow does. And Kitty also has that very similar look, feel, and appearance to Doge. So you can already see that on purely being a mascot and a cat mascot stands this in incredibly good stead for the bull market. Thirdly, should I say, the narrative. Okay, what's the story behind it? What is the story behind Mog? There isn't one. All that really happens is you've got the big YouTubers, Alex Becker, Elio, Virtual Bacon, probably even Coin Bureau, and they'll talk about Mog because it's the best performing cat coin, but what is the narrative? It's just a cat coin. Like, that's the only thing that's actually, that's actually what you can say about it, right? What else can you say? Oh, it's a schizo coin that is meant to be attracting the kind of LA, hipster yuppie types, right? No one cares about that. How many hipster yuppie types are in crypto? A very small population. But general cat pet, owners has a huge population. And so this is very easy to explain. First of all, first ever cat meme coin. Okay, first ever cat meme coin. It's the original. And let's face it, Doge is where it is because it's the original dog. That's it. There have probably been way better dog narratives, that has come since. But Doge is the first dog, the first meme dog. And Kitty is the first meme cat. So they are basically the exact same story. The difference being is Doge has gotten to a market cap of 91 billion. And Kitty ceased to exist because of a story which I'll talk about very, very shortly. But anyway, it's the first ever cat meme coin. It's a cat narrative, so just like these, cat narrative. But it's the Doge rival, okay? So again, if we go back to the history of Meow, right? Which is plain to see right here on the website. They have put the official Bitcoin talk, which was really geek central for cryptocurrency back in the early days. I mean, this predates me. When I was getting into cryptocurrency, I think that there were still remnants of Bitcoin talk and these kinds of forums where cryptos were launched, right? And you can see, dated back to 2013, you can see the personality coming out. Okay, you have to make me Kitecoin. I has much to give, but that Doge is getting my attentions. Right? So you've got a personality of a meme cat here, which is now being built upon with the Kitecoin Twitter. Right? So if you look on Twitter, you will see a lot of the way it kind of comes across, the way it communicates is very much, in keeping with the same kind of distinct language and terminology used in the original website. And look, the history of it. I mean, this was a proof of work coin. Like, there's no cat coin that's a proof of work coin except this one. Right, so that's the history of it. It's insane history. Without going into too much detail, you can see that the narrative is insanely attractive. And the thing is that there's also there's a secondary story to being the Doge rival. So, like we've seen with other coins, is that there was a cabal that were looking to make Doge successful. All right, there were a group of megalomaniacal, kind of crypto holders, rich people that were pushing Doge, right? Or pushing it onto the exchanges, that were making it, soar up in market cap. And this same cabal were restricting and suppressing suppressing Kitty, right? So it couldn't rival it. Okay, so now we've got a meme coin market. It's a completely different environment to what existed in 2013. Like back then, you probably followed the money only, right? You didn't have the marketing that you've got now. You don't have the narratives that you've got now. Like, this was a proof of work coin, just like Doge, just like Bitcoin, just like Litecoin, just like Ethereum was back in the day. Like, they were all very similar. But now we've got a meme narrative, so that makes this way more powerful than it had a chance to be back in 2013. So it was suppressed. Now think about that narrative, okay? If you're a cat owner, do you like the fact that a cat was suppressed in the crypto market? So the dog, which comprises maybe 52% of pet ownership, maybe a little less, maybe it's 51, and then there's a load of niche pets in the middle. But the dog owners, they got their day because the cabal pushed this, whereas Kitty was suppressed. So it's a really good David versus Goliath type situation where you have got the cat owners, they're like, no, this is the time now where Kitty gets to have its time in the sun, to stand out, to finally get the attention that it should have got back in 2013, and this should have stuck around since 2013. This should be up there with Litecoin and Doge. However, it didn't. It got suppressed. But cat lovers out there, now we unite. We unite. And now cats have a chance. Right now, this really makes sense. So right now, it's early. 2 million market cap. There is no website at this point. At this point, the website is really pointing to the history, right? And this was exactly the same with Lolcoin as well. Initially, it just pointed to the history. So right now, it is pre-website, pre-critical mass. If you wondered what pre-CM meant, it's not, I didn't miss out a letter, right? It's pre-critical mass. Something that all these cat mascots have. And to be honest, I couldn't name any other cats because the narrative has not been strong till now. I can only name these cats if I'm ever talking about cat coins, right? But these cats have all achieved critical mass. They were all around, all had their all-time highs. These are their all-time highs. And these were all achieved during December, right? So they're all critical mass. And Kitty is pre-critical mass. It's at this point only got 2.6k holders, 710 active members. Now remember, there are 480 million cat owners. Now, I'm not saying all 408 million or all 480 million are going to come to cryptocurrency, invest in cryptocurrencies, and start investing in Kitty. No, that's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying is look at the big disparity, right? 2.6k holders, 710 active members, 480 million cat owners. And in terms of value, it's 40,000x less than Doge. Right, so you can see this is an early opportunity, right? When I was talking about these coins in the past, I talked about them when they were all early opportunities. That's why these are receipts. I have receipts for all of my, and these are not all of them. This is just a select few. Haven't updated this in a long time. But, and I mean, Binance now is like 1200x from when I talked about it at 78 cents. Right? And now it's well over $800, right? So I talk about these opportunities early, and let's face it, not all these cryptocurrencies go up straight away after I speak about them. It takes sometimes months, a few years, or maybe even in the case of, for instance, Binance, because I spoke about that in 2017, maybe even 8 years to make 1000x, right? But they do eventually because I find the narratives. I've been in this market 8 years. I'm experienced enough to look at a coin and be able to say, yes, that tells a good story. And when I found Kitty, oh man, I really did feel like I had just mined gold. I felt like I had just, dug up sand and there was just a big gold bar that no one had claimed. Right? That's how I felt when I found it. And even now, it's still early. It's got a great ticker, meow. Doesn't get better than that. Let's have a look at cat meme coins, right? Let's have a look at their tickers. Mog shit, Mew shit. Actually, Mog isn't that bad because Mog is actually, when I used to play on arcade machines back in the 90s, I used to put my name as Mog, right? So, Mog's okay, but it's not that great. It's probably the best, actually, of all the others. Mew, rubbish. Popcat, rubbish. Toshi, rubbish. Aura, rubbish. Simon's Cat, they've taken Cat, but this is a rubbish coin. Right? Meow, it's not taken, is it? It's not taken. All these shit coins, they haven't got the best, in my opinion, the best ticker in the business. And then Kitty, right? It's a talking point. Let's have a look, right? So, this was actually, I found this. This was actually published 10 years ago. So therefore, on or around about the time, 2015, So about a year after Kite had actually been launched. So it's funny that this actually came out. So let's have a look and see how you pronounce Kite.
Kitehcoin. Kitehcoin.
Kitchcare, right? So it's a talking point. How do you say it, Kitchcare? Somebody put in the comments, they said something like it's Kitta. There we are, Kitta. I would pronounce it Kitta. Go back down there, right? Kitta, Kite, Kite. It doesn't really matter. It's a talking point, right? That's cool. It gets people wondering, what is the actual name? And just look. This is how, and this is a pure cat lovers website. Pure cat lovers website. This was ahead of its time. This is the kind of thing that would have really done well in 2021 had it been around. It wasn't. It's around now though. Like that is where you're lucky to be watching this because it's around now. If it's around in 2021, this would have been up there with Shiba. I'm telling you, this would have been up there with Shiba. Definitely would have been. And it's just, look, look, it's so easy to talk through. It's so easy to just rattle off the history of it, the narrative of it. What's the point of it? It's an easy sell. It's a normie coin. It's not a degen community. These are all pretty much degen communities. You have to understand why it's called PopCap, Mew, Bog, Toshi, and all the rest of them. And there are other degen meme coins out there too. You know, NPC, you know, even SPX. You know, it's like you have to explain it. And Doge is much easier to explain than SPX because it's a mascot, first of all. And then you just understand that this is a dog that stands as a symbol looking to flip the Dow Jones. But what's SPX? It's just a satirical, you know, degen community. Right? And it's harder to understand, harder to get adoption. And really, the only reason it got adoption was because of Murad. Simple as. Because he had, you know, 700,000 followers on X. You know, the guy has been around in cryptocurrency as long as I have. He's been around since he's been in crypto the same amount as I have. And he has amassed a load of followers over time that bought SPX just because he has it as his main play. And that's it. But actually, you know, if there was any other person, any other smaller YouTuber trying to explain SPX, it would never gain traction because it's too hard to explain. Meow is easy to explain. So these are the fundamentals of Kite. Now let's talk about the pumpermentals, right? So, you know, what we are looking at right now in terms of the environment. So we've got Bitcoin dominance down, altcoin season very, very soon to start. So we have the potential for a cat cycle, right? And I say this because right now you've got the big exchanges, and this is, you know, and this shows you just how on it the Kitecoin community is, and the founder, well, should I say the person that runs the X account anyway, that they are jumping on it. You know, you had Binance Wallet putting, you know, this graphic out earlier today, and then you had, and it's all very subliminal. I think that this is hinting at Meow. I'm not joking. I think this is hinting at Meow. But anyway, whatever the case, right? You've got a cat and a dog. You've only had dogs really dominating meme coins. And you've had Kitecoin jumping on this post immediately, right? But you can see right now there is an appetite. Look, also, HTX Global, they put this up earlier today, right? Cats. They're promoting cats. They want cats. There needs to be more cats, right? And so, as I said, you know, the Kitecoin, they're right on it. Right on it. And look, Binance Intern. Time to work on my weekly report. Cat lover. The Binance Intern. It's brilliant. This is probably the best executed meme coin at this market cap, right? Other than Doge, actually, because Doge is fucking amazing and still is, right? But as a cat meme coin, as an animal meme coin, this is a really fantastic execution. And I mean, we're not talking about a super narrow. We're not talking about a super meme coin like Doge that is basically a mascot with a financial target, which is, you know, a super meme coin in my opinion, right? We're talking about a pure mascot coin, and this is one of the best stories of a mascot coin, right? So, you know, we had dog cycles, and now it looks like big exchanges, Binance, Huobi, can't remember the other names, but these guys, Binance US, they are all looking they're creating a cat cycle. Cats are at the forefront of what they're looking for. So this could be a cat cycle. Exchanges are on the lookout for cat coins, good cat coins. And let's face it, these ones are already post-critical mass. They're already on exchanges. We're looking at a coin that can really exploit the cat cycle. It's pre-exchange, and there is an appetite for cats. Cat meme coins right now. Now, let's look at the cat narrative in the last alt season. So the last alt season, happened back in December, right? That was the last alt season. Let's just show you. This is how cat meme coins look right now. So this is a 1.6 billion market cap in total for cat themed meme coins, with a small volume because this is a niche segment of meme coins, right? But they are significant enough to get their own classification on CoinMarketCap. But let's see where it was back in that December alt season, right? It was a 5 billion. So this is just catching it on only one of the very few days. It was the December 16th, so not even the top of the alt cycle. And you can see here, market cap 4.3 billion, actually went to 5 billion, and a trading volume of near $1 billion into just cat-themed meme coins, right? And that's where these meme coins had their all-time highs, right? So there's quite clearly a great narrative with cat meme coins, right? So they have got a substantial, reasons to grow. And where they got to 5 billion market cap back in December, this represented 3% of the entire market cap. Now think about how many narratives there are in crypto. Layer 1, Layer 2, DeFi, GameFi, AI, RWA, DePIN, NFTs, exchange tokens, privacy coins. Like, there are so many narratives in the global altcoin market, global market cap. And yet this represents 3% of it. And if we are looking at just total 3, which excludes Ethereum and Bitcoin, then we would be looking at near 9% of the global market cap. That's just telling you that cats as a narrative is strong as hell. Now, in the next 5-6 months, we could be having an up-only phase. Like, we've had it every 4-year cycle. We've had it in every post-halving year. We have an up-only phase where it just kind of goes up to the euphoria stage, market top, crash. So we could be having that up-only phase within the next 5 to 6 months as per previous cycles. Now, it may or may not. We don't know. This may go into 2026. Late 2026, we don't know. But what we do know is that in crypto market history, it's always followed the 4-year cycle, and this is all we can go on for now. And then we have got the meme coin super cycle, which is obviously going to bring up all meme coins. It's going to be like a rising tide. Like, it's going to bring up all ships, right? And then you've got large cap cat osmosis. What that means is where you've got a large cap of a particular meme, people are going to be going for the degen cap of that particular meme, and that's going to rise. So when there is, should I say, a cat narrative, and these start to rise, and they're the large caps, through pure osmosis, because the degens are going to be looking for the earlier, smaller market cap opportunities, this is going to go up 5x harder, right? So for every 2x that you may get in here, these are going to go up 10x. So think of it as a multiple of 5, right? That's how it's going to go. And so large cat osmosis is going to make the small caps, of which there are very few. I cannot actually tell you right now I can't tell you any cat coins. I really can't think of any cat coins that are low caps, because they just don't have a narrative that makes it stick in my mind. And these are only in my mind because they're the largest cap coins. So you can see why the delta between the 4 most known cats and this one, which is a 2 million market cap, hardly known, why that delta means multipliers. So I think that I have very, very succinctly explained why Kitty has the potential to be huge. It really does. And I mean, look at this, right? This is DOGECOIN's trendiness over the last 5 years. And it had its it had its peak trendiness back in May 2021. This was at a time where Elon Musk was talking about it, the DOGECOIN millionaire who's in the thumbnail was talking about it. and it was going towards $1. It was going on Saturday Night Live, and it was really the peak of its popularity. Where's it been since then? Not even close. Not even close. Not even when Donald Trump became president, when we had that big surge, and basically, money moved from Bitcoin into large caps then. This is a large cap, and even then, not even close to the popularity it had even at the beginning of 2021. Right? Yeah. Cap meme coins, look now. Right? It's just had its biggest peak. All right? Mid-August. I can't actually get that stupid top, but mid-August was where it hit its peak. Mid-August. So there's an appetite. Cat cycles. The cat cycle is coming, right? And it's coming after dogs. And that's why my two biggest meme coin shouts is going to be Doge and Meow. Because these are the two low market cap, extremely low market cap cryptocurrencies with fantastic narratives. And I mean, you only have to look at my best ever call, which is Tits. And I talked about that 9 months before an altcoin season, and it did nothing for those 9 months until altcoin season. And then it did a 2000x almost within, the space of a week, 2 weeks. I was watching it. It did that in 2 weeks. And that's all we need. All we need is alt season. This is the ultimate factor. This is what makes a top cryptocurrency. Being around and being hyped around altcoin season. Just to give you an example of another cat meme, which did really super well, that has a really poor narrative, Simon's Cat. All right? So I actually didn't invest in Simon's Cat. I was offered this at private sale, didn't go for it. And it went to a ginormous market cap. Look at that. It went to half a billion market cap. Why? 17th of December. Why? Because it was there during altcoin season. And that's all you need. That's all you need. So the people are like, oh, it's going down. It's for any coin right now. Anybody who's going, oh, it's going down. It's going down. It's for any coin. It's only because there is no alt season. Alt season does the heavy lifting. Alt season takes the momentum away from YouTubers. So YouTubers may talk about it, but then once that idea is planted, alt season takes it up. So you just need to be there for alt season. It is coming. So regardless of Meow being a 2 million right now, alt season's coming. It will never be 2 million again. Well, unless a bear market comes along. The end of the year, maybe early next year. So we're looking at a coin with incredible fundamentals and pumpermentals, insane strength, a 2 million market cap. And I do definitely see this being at the top of this list. Right, that's it. I'm going to take a few questions. Just have a look. Because I'm live on both Twitch and YouTube. What about the contract address? Okay, so let me just get that. Let me just get that for you. Seeing as though, I don't know why it's difficult, but I'll just put it there. Put it there. So you've got the contract address. And another thing, this has been getting insane volume as well. And that is what exchange look for. So this is pre-exchange, and the volume is what people look for. This had 6 million volume a couple of days ago. 6 million! That's huge! And look at these idiots selling, honestly. Oh, what idiot. I honestly, who would sell this? Who would sell this? Like, honestly, would you? Right, okay, let me have a look at these questions, as I said. As needs push. X account is bad. Cannot be searched. That's an unfortunate. That's an unfortunate occupational hazard of being on the slight cusp of not safe for work. Is that once you go over that line like once, then all of a sudden X has your page as adult content or something like that, and you have to search for it specifically, and it is annoying. But it's fine. It's good. Doge is the real Doge. Yeah. True that. Doge, I think, is the best dog coin in the market by far. It really is. But Kitecoin wise, this is definitely the best also. Oh, we got Win All Day in the chat. Good to see you, Win All Day. What a legend. Now, Win All Day, I would say, is a fantastic up-and-coming YouTuber. If you haven't watched Win All Day, watch him. He's great. Really good. D-Gen play. He's brilliant. And if you love that kind of thing, then he's the man for you. I was hoping Shiro Neko was going to moon. What the fuck is that? It's just a shit name. Binance is meowing. Yes, they are, Philip. Kitte here to rule memes. I agree. Loving Kitte. It's just so cool. Kitte. Just like that prick. Sway. What? You are forbidden to sell Doge for Kitte. Yeah, I agree with that too. Like, I think they're both fantastic plays. Like, to me, they are the plays for this cycle. But Kitte, you know, this one's a very, very tiny market cap, TBH. But yeah, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you know, they're both brilliant. They're both fantastically, they're both very active, great content, both power plays. Ripe for 100 to 1000x and up only phase. I mean, people that are saying, oh, Dow's just going down, yeah, let's have a look at SPX. SPX was $2.30 literally a few weeks ago. And now look at it, it is $1.11. It's over halved. And we're talking about a major meme coin, right? This is halved. So if this is halved, everything's going down. Like, don't be too despondent about it. Because the opposite happens during up-only phase. During up-only phase, like, this is where everything just goes up and keeps going up. And I know it because I've been in it, like, 5 or 6 times. Like, because it happened twice in 2021. Right? It happened in January, April, and November. There were 3 big up-only phases. I mean, the first one was where Safe Moon and Matic and I think, yeah, and Shiba Inu, those made their catastrophically high multipliers in the January one. And then April was like, you know, other ones that were coming out during alt season. And then November, it was really only metaverse gaming and launchpads at that point. You've got to be very good with the narratives. You've got to be fantastic at rotating, and this is why I've got so many 100x's, because I'm fantastic. I don't want to I hate saying those words, but because I know when to rotate, I can see when the appetite is changing. Right? So all you need to do is just wait for this. That's all you have to do, is wait. So when people are selling, they're just so stupid. Why would you sell? That's my understanding. You know, that because of my experience. Because of how I've seen it, like I hold some 2021 coins. I even hold some 2018 coins, right? But I won't sell them because I know that when alt season comes, everything goes up, and that's the time to sell. That's the time to get to take your money out, right? When alt season's there, because literally nearly everything goes up through osmosis. So there's just no point in selling. Selling is disadvantage. It's giving you a disadvantageous hand when this happens. And I should know because back in 2018 when I had Ethos, there were so many points. I got Ethos at 5 cents. There were so many points I could have sold it. I could have sold it at $2, $4, $6. I didn't. I held it right till the end. So it went up to $14. Right? And I didn't sell a penny of it. A penny. I didn't even sell a $5. I sold none of it. I kept the entire bag. And that's why I'm wealthy. It's because of that. I only needed 6 months to change my life totally. And the rest has just been playing, because this is my job. I don't have to do it. I want to do it. Right, okay. Has there been any questions since Let Theng? Is the rise of DJI dependent on the rise of SPX? Yeah, I mean, it's a similar narrative. However, the difference between Doge and SPX is Doge is a mascot coin, right? So Doge has the exact same fundamentals as these. It's a mascot coin. But it's got an increased fundamental, which is actually makes it better than all of these. Is why it makes it in the classification of super meme coin, because it's got a financial target and it's actually a movement looking to achieve something. I'm not saying Kite is a movement, but it actually is. And that's something I haven't actually even put here. I'm going to say this. This is a cat movement. Why am I saying that? Well, because of the story on the fact that Doge stopped this cat from doing well in 2013/14. Right? So they led a dog movement that suppressed and destroyed the cat meme narrative. And now this is a movement. This is actually a movement. I'm not saying this is an official movement like Doge, but this is actually a movement. Like, if you're an impassioned cat lover watching me right now, you will see the injustice of this, and you will see this is a movement. This is about going against the dog narrative. Now, obviously, I've got a dog too, so I don't want dogs to die or anything, but I do want for cats to finally have their version of a $42 billion market cap. And in my opinion, these guys are not worthy. As a cat lover, these guys don't represent cats because they weren't suppressed. They weren't, oppressed. And not only that, but they don't really resemble cats. Whereas Kite and Meow, that is archetypal cat. Right, I'm going to have to make a move now because, as you know, on my Fridays, it is dad time. So thank you all. Look. Ah, beautiful cat. Love cats. Even though when I go, try and call them over, they just walk away. Because cats are snobby like that and independent like that. And they're like, nah. Whereas dogs, they're like, they walk right up to you and they want to be stroked. But cats, they're like, nah. So anyway, yeah. So cats, you gotta love them. 50% of people have them nearly. And this is the meme coin that's very, very low market cap, that's very simple to understand, that could be going to the moon. Till next time, people, I've been the Suppoman. You've been awesome. It is lights out, all out.